for getting movies and like your big productions and stuff out there. I know movie budgets are huge, and
What up, everybody?
I'm sure like those marketing dollars are extremely precious. Um, do you what platforms are like where I know you're here on X, but like other than X, where do you show up or
We are here for another
where
live
you
stream.
kind of
We are on
found
X Spaces actually
the
right now. Let me actually
the most success or most people are most
pull
receptive?
it up.
So, I mean, we market everywhere when it comes to our movies. You know, we're on radio, television, marketing across social media. Um, Facebook and TikTok are huge. Obviously, YouTube, when we drop a trailer, putting it up on YouTube, using a lot of traditional media, creating events that are tied around the release of our films as well. One of our films that we did, the one that we had, some of our private sale holders, God's Not Dead and God We Trust, and we released that during election year.
What up,
And
Nacho?
so part of our marketing was we did a premiere at the White House. I mean, not the White House, but the Capitol. And it's we did stuff
What
with
you up to?
CPAC and different organizations getting the word out there. We did another premiere over in Dallas,
Does it
Texas.
say day
with
5 or day
different
4 for you?
organizations, but we tied it in because it had a political theme within it, within the movie. So we tied in, different, political things going on during that year. And that's the thing is if you do your marketing the right way, you can be successful. If you don't, if you're late to the game, you're gonna fail. I've seen, like, there's gala games, gala films that has been in the space. They had some success, with their television show that they released called Razor, and it got nominated for an Emmy, which was awesome. Then they tried to release a film. We know the director that did that movie. It was a remake of um, uh, an '80s film called Witchboard that had Tawny Kitaen in it. The movie that our friend did is phenomenal. It was done so well. Story was good. How it was shot was really good. The actors did a great job. Overall, a great film. It was an $18 million
So
budget for that
this
movie.
homie called Star
The
Dogs.
studio Gala
Can you see?
unfortunately didn't
Oh,
know how to
my bad.
put about 50 theaters nationwide, which was giving it hardly any chance to get any legs to
Much
really
better.
run and have a success.
Let's
And
see.
it had only, they only did about a month and a half of marketing for that film. And so,
Ah,
unfortunately, the film did very poorly theatrically. It is
makes
available
sense.
on Amazon Prime, and other
Yeah, no.
streaming
So I'm just
platforms
in this
now.
space. I'm
But
about to
you
talk
have to put that time
with
into the
the homie.
marketing. You brought up about
Oh
marketing
no,
dollars and
there's
production
2
budget and all of
audios.
that. And
Hmm.
we've done movies that cost in the tens of millions. We've got a rom com
But yeah,
that we
so
are in pre-production
this
on. It's
homie
a
is
$30 million
doing.
budget.
I don't
That's just
even
the
remember
production
what he
budget.
said about
That
that,
doesn't
but
include our
yeah,
P&A,
these are just
which
a
is
group of people
marketing,
talking.
and getting it into
We're
the
about to
theaters.
pop in and
So
share
that's
and
going to
talk
be
about
another
and
15
with
to
Liquid
20
NFTs
million,
about NFT marketplaces.
added
So
onto our budget for
yeah,
all of
he's the
that.
guest
So
before,
all in all, that movie
but
is gonna need to make for
yeah, I don't
us,
really remember what he said about how
to break even. We're
that
probably
I
gonna have
think
to
a lot of
pull in
PACs are
70 to
toxic,
80
whether
million
they're
dollars in the
conservative
box
or
office when we release that
um,
film. But we're putting certain, safe
liberal.
stops in to help it be successful as well. Our cast that we're bringing on, we're in talks with Channing Tatum, and a bunch of other
That's
great
cool.
people.
Yeah, no, I mean it's cool. You
Sean
meet people,
Hayes,
but like the
we're in
NFT is
talks with
0.5 ETH, which
Jason
is like
Segel.
grand,
Gabriel
which is
Iglesias,
a lot less than it was
hilarious guy.
before, I imagine.
Love
But
him.
I
And
still
a
well
bunch
out
of
of my
others. So,
range of
we're bringing on the
so.
talent. That helps bring people to the theaters. Then there's, everything we're doing from a marketing standpoint from day one to get the word out there. And it's a rom-com. Rom-coms can tend to have, a really good success theatrically if it's marketed the right way. You look at the Glenn Powell, Sydney Sweeney movie that they did, and that movie was shot for $30 million and made $300 million worldwide. So if it's done the right way, it can be very successful.
It sucks, unfortunately. That's kind of why
Yeah,
American
that's
I've in like
the numbers you deal
spot
with
in
on
the space,
budgeting
right?
there is wild. That's crazy.
I did make some upgrades though. I'm on
Yeah, that's
OBS.
awesome. Are you
haven't
guys
seen it,
looking?
so.
Are you gonna
This
try
is
to use
Chrome. We
AI
got
to
Cam
cut down
1,
on some of
Cam
the budget,
2, which
or
is
are you guys
100%.
right now the computer, but
I think
the DJ
anybody
deck,
who
and
doesn't
then both
is shooting
here.
themselves in the foot. All your studios. I mean,
What was this
Netflix
one?
just bought
Cool. Yeah,
Ben
this one has the
Affleck's
DJ
AI
part.
company, and they bought it,
if I had
for
it over there.
$500 million to bring down their expenses.
Yeah, bro, we
for
did a
making
real
films.
good sesh yesterday.
There was another movie that was
yesterday. I was just chatting with Candy the whole
budgeted
time.
to cost around $200 million. They shot it in
Shit, I think we
warehouse.
could probably play it into here.
A lot of green screen, blue screen to shoot everything.
Let's do it.
Let's
see.
But using AI, they were able to bring that budget down from $200 million down to $70 million. So it is a
thanks, bro.
tool
I told him today that I've been feeling a little
and
overwhelmed, that I'm gonna take a little bit of step back from
obviously.
consuming Wave Wars and
just AI
streams.
slop out there.
I'm trying to do this thing where I go. Jeez, I need to lower this down one time.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I saw Higgsfield just open source their 90-minute film that they made.
He's Zoroastrian, bro. Like,
and,
he's like the famous Zoroastrian.
You can go and grab the open source. And
I do know. That's wild.
I was like,
that's funny.
Ooh, like I'm not. I don't have a story that I'm working on.
Yeah, dude.
At the moment,
I have actually a whole
like,
thing that I'm like a brand that I'm working on. I'm actually applying for a grant to go to Singapore for an event.
So that's awesome.
So yeah.
I'm okay, so I'm sorry, last question. Do you find that in real life
what do you say
events
in
are like kind of the flagship
Big dog. I got some ideas. I'm building the streamer kit.
Kind of like
and I'm ready to share. When I'm ready to share it with people,
nowadays,
it's gonna be a lot
do you
of
feel
fun.
like people really enjoy the in real life events and it like carries over to the digital?
I do. There's so much advertising that's thrown at people nowadays. It doesn't matter what you go, where you watch streaming platforms, they've all got advertising now where they didn't before. People enjoyed streaming platforms before because, it was like, I could watch Amazon and there's no advertisements. Now,
how's that sound?
More advertisements on Amazon than I remember there being on regular television. It's nuts, but you can create activation.
Who's parents? Parents. Yeah, okay, whatever you want to say. Interesting. I've never heard of Farhan.
Cuts down on the investment needed from
you can hear that, right?
Outside investors. It gives us opportunities to work with different brands, tie them in, and most of your big studios use this. You look at Fast and the Furious 10. They had 120 different brands in that movie. Those brands paid out a total of $150 million to be in that film, and I think that budget was $450 million for Fast 10. So 150 of that, 33% of their budget is covered by product placement, brand integration. Now, having that covered, you're able to, go out to investors and say, hey, we've already got 33% of the budget. We just need you to come in with the rest and cut the first in. And I don't care what business is out there. If you're a business, a brand, and you're looking for an investor to come in, those investors usually want to see,
Perfect.
one, is it making money? Or, do you have pre-sales and and even with films, you can, for distribution, have pre-sales that helps get investors, and then you go. But if you have that first in, getting the rest of the money is so much easier. It's usually that first in investor that you're most difficult to get.
Sorry, I'm just trying to pick the right song. Here we go. All right.
Thank you. That's awesome. I see Liquid. What up, Liquid?
Who? Oh. Huh.
Hey, Dylan. How you doing?
Oh, no,
Cool.
it's
I don't watch a lot of
Nathan.
Bollywood anymore.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. You're just talking about product placement there. I was. Do you remember we was on a WhatsApp call? Must have been about a month or so ago, and I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day, and I couldn't think of the number. And you'd said to me about I think it was the James Bond movie, and was it What the Lager Paid?
It was Heineken.
Heineken.
I just saw too much of it as a kid.
007 film,
right? Because
they were seen in that movie for less than 5 seconds. It was a scene where he went to a gala and he's holding
Doom 2,
a bottle of Heineken.
One of my favorites.
That company paid $46
I really
million
enjoyed that one.
For their product.
And 3, actually. Those are 2 I do remember watching and enjoyed. That's about it. There's a couple of small ones like Dungal was interesting. It was a boxing one. I don't know if you saw that one.
For their commercials.
And
it was more than just how much time they.
Bog Milka Bog was good too. It was a running
campaign worldwide, but yeah, Heineken paid $46 million to be involved.
Oh yeah, and I mean I've never heard of
that 007 film.
That blew my mind when you told me. I mean I've been involved in a few product placement deals over the years, nothing to that level for like 5 seconds. And of course they'd want other benefits from it. But yeah, you're just talking about product placement and it made me think, this
is pretty
I remember a conversation we was having about that. But yeah, 46 million you said it was. That's insane numbers.
I see. Okay, so you can only see something.
It is crazy numbers, but the value that's there, the campaign was massive. The movie, it's one of the most iconic film brands out there. How many 007 films?
I should probably get my thing ready if I'm gonna do this, huh?
4 or 5
my
different
space
James
station.
Bonds over the years.
I don't like that it doesn't do that. Let's see how big we can make it without it. You can't even see it, so it doesn't matter. But
and you sit there and just go, wow, it's to be associated with that is huge. And that was really just the product placement side. There's a brand integration aspect as well, where you work them directly into the script, into the story. Kind of like when you watch.
I got it ready for him.
For anybody who has ever seen the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, there's a scene where they're all trying to make a decision. They didn't have a coin to flip at a pizza box, so they flipped the pizza box to make the decision of what they're gonna do. And that pizza box was by a company called Celeste Pizza. You go to your grocery store, you still see Celeste Pizza. I hadn't seen this movie in years. I saw it for the first time probably 15 years last year. A week later, I'm going grocery shopping and I see Celeste Pizza there, and I immediately tie it to the movie. That movie was, an iconic film. You can look at, Pretty Woman. Richard Gere, beginning of the movie, takes his friend's car, because he's kind of just wants to get away from the party, and he's driving around, and as he's driving, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's grinding the gears, practically stalling it, pulls up in front of Julia Roberts. She's, working the street, and she sees the car and she falls in love with the car. She knows everything about it, starts talking about all the features and benefits. Well, that car was a Lotus. That movie's 42 years old. So for 42 years, Lotus, the car brand, has been different people. That's crazy marketing for only paying one time to be in that film.
But that makes me feel really old now. 40, Pretty Woman, 42 years old. I remember when it came out.
I searched it. Yeah. It's not.
Well, I don't know, I'll tell you one other brand with that same movie. Coca-Cola had just released their Diet Coke brand for the first time. There's a scene in there where both of them are playing chess. She's in a beautiful gown, he's in a tux. They're sitting down playing a game of chess. Right by her forearm is a can of Diet Coke, perfectly placed. Read Diet Coke on it. But that helped put Diet Coke out there to millions of people. Just subconsciously, you're seeing this. Oh, it's Diet Coke. Oh, I want. The more you see it, the more chance you're going to want to go and buy it.
Well, I remember I was speaking with you going, what's the chance of getting a crypto magazine on a table in a shot in one of your movies?
That's just never going to work. I can do it with my camera.
And I think that's how we got onto that conversation. Yeah, no, it was. I mean, in media,
I'm reading
we do a lot of contra deals, and I don't think contra deals go on in the movie industry. But in publishing, there's a lot of contra deals, so offsetting products for exposure and products for spaces, and blimey, over the years, the 30 years I've been in media, I mean, I remember when my first daughter was born. I done a deal on one of the publications I was working with a brand called Mamas and Papas, and they
was that a brand or was that the band?
No, that was the brand of the baby. Oh right, yeah. But yeah, no. So they ended up sending. I think they sent me about £5,000 worth of baby goods, like leather kind of carriers and buggies and like the milk warming machines. And we had Colin and I once. We decked our whole kitchens out with Italian kitchens.
So I love these guys.
Just doing contra deals, and I'm still waiting to get a nice contra deal with Rolex. So that will make me happy if I get it. Yeah, send us some watches and we'll review them for you. I've not got it yet. They advertise with us, but they're not so keen on sending me a $50,000 product for nothing.
Well, I will say this. Those types of deals do happen. Look at Transformers. Now granted, GM, that type of deal was a mix of what you're saying and them paying. So when GM relaunched, or Chevy relaunched the Camaro, they used Transformers to do that. They were getting ready to launch it. They had tooled their factories. They had built their prototype. They sent, a few different prototypes over. Production didn't like the way that the car looked, so they actually redesigned it. So executives from Chevy, come on set. Filming had already been begun, and they realized that the car looks nothing like what they had sent them. Nothing like what was going to get built. But they loved the way it looked. They loved what the production team had done to the vehicle. So they went back to corporate office, decided to retool all their factories. That's billions of dollars to retool factories. And they did this because they believed that what that would do for their brand, for their car, would be worth all the money that they would spend to retool. So they did it, and they had to put a rush on it. So like when the Camaros first came out, what was that? 14 years ago, 15 years ago, after being gone for 15 years. The outside, beautiful.
You didn't respond after that.
Get inside it, cheap.
Okay,
so
I need your help. Tell me what I need to do
rush.
and what I should
have
do
a lot of technology.
on
Drove great
Twitch.
Engines.
What am I doing wrong?
But
so I gotta get to this
years,
first in.
They
I like that one.
Made the interiors better and better because they were able to do that. They just had to rush to get it.
Viewer rewards.
And it worked
First
tremendously.
of the year.
Transformers was such a massive success. That first one that they had the Camaro in, and you look at that and it put the Camaro number 2 after being nowhere. And there were other, muscle cars.
Here we go.
That were out there
For single default rewards.
Obviously, the Ford Mustang holds the number one spot.
Interesting.
It's never left the market, so it's made it easy for it to hold that number one spot for a long time. But Camaro had to jump through hoops, and this helped them, and they immediately first year
these are
release
way too
jumped
confusing.
up to the number one.
I'm not gonna be able to do
the number two muscle car behind
the
Ford Mustang. So this type of marketing can do an amazing thing for any brand out there if it's done right.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, do you find, like me, people hate watching movies with me because I'm that guy that will sit next to you, and for the last 10, 15 years, I'll be watching a movie and I'll go, product placement, another product placement. Oh, look, they've just spoke that. There's Pringles packet on the side. They've been paid for that. And I watch films in a completely different way. And you probably do the same. But I'm that annoying person. I'll sit and go, Nathan, will you just be quiet and watch the film? And I'm like, look, there's a Pepsi van. There's a.
Okay, so I need it here.
I'm not the sort of guy you want to sit next to in a theater.
There.
I've got friends who are just like that with different things that, they all work in different parts of the business. Directors, and they hate the way that certain shots are done, and they'll voice it. And sometimes you don't mind, sometimes you do. Sometimes you're like, hey, dude, shut up. Let's just enjoy it. I get it. We're in the industry.
That's
blah,
what you
blah,
really
blah.
want.
But I've got people on my team, that go after product placement and brand integration. And,
I literally need
their kids are like, Mom, look at this. You should talk to that company, or you should talk to that company. Even their kids are getting into it, which is cool. I'm like, hey, when they get a little older, let's hire them.
Well, I was thinking of doing something a bit different. We've got a project coming. I can't say anything about it at the moment, but we've got it. Well, not in public, but we've got a project coming up on Liquid, which is a hand drawn project, and I was saying I think it would be perfect and be incredibly beneficial for some big brands to do some product placement within the art. So I'm just looking at that at the moment. But I mean, my contacts in regards to product placement I could probably count them on two hands. But I'd imagine someone like you would probably have a whole host of resources, because it's something that you would deal with, or your team would deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah, we have a whole department that is just for sales within our company, going out and speaking with different companies. But I've spoken with other people in the past in Web3. That's definitely an opportunity. The thing that I'll say with it is making sure that the IP is going to support that the amount of eyeballs that are there can support having those conversations with those brands. Because if they're going to put money behind it, or even give products that you can use for giveaway, or you create activations with them, they're going to go, well, what's in it for them? It's bottom line. They're if you've built the brand well enough, then yes, do it. It's an amazing opportunity. It brings value for your community, for your investors, for your customers. It's a tool that you don't see a lot of brands in the Web3 space tap into. But it also, part of that is because of the amount of time that it takes to get an IP to the level where those brands will take you seriously as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a friend over at Viral Nation, and that's what they do. They're kind of moving real world brands, Pepsi, people like that, and moving them into that Web3 area. But again, Web3 is actually, it's a huge opportunity for brands to get recognized, and especially when you're looking at the brands that are synonymous with Web3, like cars, Lamborghini, the luxury side of things, Rolexes, Breitling, things like that. It's a market that kind of runs side by side, private airlines and 5-star hotels. This is like the life that a lot of people in Web3 live. They want the nice things. It's what blockchain has kind of become.
I agree. And Lamborghini has they did a drop in the space. They did a car collection that was tied in with Wilder World, where those NFTs would be usable within the Wilder World ecosystem. I remember that one. I think they dropped about 200 Lamborghini digital assets during that. It sold out pretty quick. I think it was within 1 or 2 hours. So there are opportunities, but a lot of these brands are very hesitant in the space, just with everything moving around, shifting, changing. You've had so many people come and go. You've had people obviously being, scammed. You've got governments that say one moment they love the space, next moment they don't. And so a lot of these brands, I mean, another great brand that's in the space, they've been in it for a while now, Michelin. They've been in Web3. They've got their NFTs. There's opportunities with those if you hold them, and they've shifted how, because of Web3, they've made adjustments to their overall business structure because of what they've learned in this space to help them evolve. And I think that's an important thing. I mean, what Stardogs is a subsidiary of our parent company. We've been doing movies way before we ever released Stardogs. We brought it into the space, one, to give people an opportunity, but two, also realizing that the technology that's here can be used to help, in film production. We can lower costs on HR. We can lower costs on, paying, people. Everything can be done through the blockchain. Certain amount of funds gets achieved in the box office or on streaming, and then it activates something within the smart contract that then those funds then get released and deployed to the producers, the actors, directors, anybody who, and investors, anybody who gets a piece of the back end. That can all be done through smart contract. Then there's getting the community involved, and it's a great way to activate people, give them opportunities. They get to be involved, and you know if they're loving what's happening and they love the team and the brand that's building, they're probably going to go out and tell 5, 10, 100, 1,000 people that they know. And that's great marketing as well. So everybody wins that way. If that that was something that we saw as an opportunity to give back, but an opportunity to build on everything that we're already doing.
Yeah, no better form of marketing than word of mouth. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I love
anyway, I know that it is. I have been up here for a while. You need to start talking about Liquid NFT and Crypto Magazine. I know that the first hour was supposed to be Stardogs, but we've talked for longer than that about movies and everything. So I'm going to shoot this back over to the team here, and let's give Nathan, Liquid NFT team, and Crypto Magazine team,
Liquid.
their time, because listen, Nathan is like family. Known him for a long time. We've worked together, on different things, and just an amazing individual. So, everybody, please share out the space, because I think Liquid NFT is the future of NFT platforms. I think it is so underrated right now. If people need to be using this left and right, because it brings so much value to NFTs. I tell people every chance I get, go talk to Liquid NFT. You're dropping something, go put it on there, because then your holders have actual value built into the NFT from day one. So anyway, I'm going to turn this over. Thank you, everybody, for the questions, for the time. Pop over on Saturdays, every Saturday, 3 p.m. PST, Stardog Saturday. Thank you again.
Let's go. Yeah, no, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, truly grateful. Appreciate you coming back and, going over what Stardogs is, the Empire Flow app. Shout out to Zal as well for saying that we can pick someone to give them a year subscription to the Empire Flow app, which is super awesome. So, you know, thank you as well, Zal, for that. Definitely looking forward to the second half of the space as well, to talk about, you know, Liquid and the mag, and to talk with Zal and Azar and Wave Wars as well. And, you know, that's always kind of been an exciting part of this journey for us, is to kind of, you know, facilitate these conversations and, you know, try and bring the communities together and help facilitate people utilising the value that they're able to create and the reach that they're able to accumulate to kind of lift each other up and highlight each other. So that's super exciting as well. I do believe Retrospect said earlier that he did make a song that was in honour of Stardogs. So whilst we just kind of reset the room and get ready for that, we'll definitely let Retro play that song. But yeah, Stardogs, thank you so much. And obviously this will not be the last time, so you're welcome to stay on the stage and a part of the conversation if you wish to. If you wish to drop down or you've got to be somewhere else, totally respect that as well. But yeah, hopefully you can stick around. And yeah, Retro, if you want to play that song, my friend, you are more than welcome to, sir.
Yeah, more than half an hour I wanted to. So yeah.
I love the like bluntness.
Happy Friday. Can you hear me? Loud and clear. Tony got the mic. Ev's fighting the app. Di's holding the room. The community of communities. Star Dogs on stage. Retro. Roll it. App keeps throwing people off the stage. Signal still made it through anyway. Mike goes missing, co-host drops. Friday night and the room won't stop. Then Dylan steps in with the backlot talk. 20 years where the real crews walk. Cast and production, premieres, cruise. Not maybe someday. What can you do? Darcy watched the last run, turn. Too many vanished when the market burned. She knew those doors cause she fought through each. So I keep Hollywood out of reach. Not another logo yelling X. Not another promise living in text. If you say access, make it concrete. Put somebody's name on a call sheet. No smoke, no moon, no. Trust me soon. Show me the room. Show me the crew. Put my name on the call sheet. Not just a token in the code feed. Bring the script, bring the sound, bring the thing you know. Star Dogs made a dog out of somebody's no. From wallet to wardrobe, from spaces to set. From who are you to places, what's next? No velvet rope, no borrowed glow. If the talent is real, give the talent a rope. 10277 full body 3D 7 breeds 6 lanes in the industry. Miranda's alone never matter to me. Tell me what happens when the holder leaves the screen. Shadow a director, learn sound, learn light. Bring a movie idea, bring a track that fits right. And get around producers, see how the machine rolls. Walk the carpet, maybe step into a role. That's where utility stops being a word. When something promised online can actually be heard on set. And credits in somebody's cut. Before the loud release, they were already showing up. Private holders hit real steps, real work into the frame. That's the difference between selling the future and testing the claim. Deliver before applause, then talk to the crowd. That line lands different when the timeline gets loud. You put my name on the call sheet, not just a token in the code feed. Bring the script, bring the sound, bring the thing you know. Star Dogs made a door out of somebody's no. From wallet to wardrobe, from spaces to set. From who are you to places, what's next? No velvet rope, no borrowed glow. If the talent is real, give the talent a roll. Zoom out, zoom out. Income island behind it, another layer going live for the real streets. New functions arrive, buildings for brands, advertise inside. Digital world with a physical side, and that's the part I actually wanna see. Not escaping the real for some fake reality. Digital key, physical room, virtual lobby, real world crew. Change the screen, screen to set. Now connect.
We're gonna talk a little bit.